Where to get your haircut. And I want to apologize right off the bat. I had a surgical procedure done on my eye, on this eye right here. So vision is a little blurry, pain, a little discomfort, but I want to crank out some videos. Also, these bright lights are a little bit much. So if my eye seems a little bit off or I'm blinking a lot, it's because of that. Hopefully about a week's time or so, I'll be fully back to normal, but I had a procedure done on my eye. So anyway, where to get your hair cut. So in my opinion, out of being in the industry for over 25 years or so, I have a few opinions on where to go and get your hair cut. You've got really three options. You could do it yourself at home. And again, if I'm not looking directly at the camera, I apologize because the lighting is so bright and it's kind of uncomfortable for the eye. You can do your haircuts at home yourself. You can go to a barber shop or a hair salon, okay? Now, which are the best? Which is the best for you? Which is the most cost effective? There's a lot of people who watch my videos who leave comments, and I've even done polls saying that they watch or you watch my videos and cut hair on other people in the house. You do it yourselves from watching my videos as a guide. That's incredible. If you are one of those people, let me know in the comments below. And actually in the comments, I would love for you all to flood the comments in the comment section with where do you go to get your haircut? Do you do it yourself? You go to a barbershop or a salon? And if you want to break it down into more detail, that would be amazing. Why? That would be great. But if you choose to do it yourself at home, just know that there may be some more risks involved with it not coming out as perfect as you may hope for. Especially if you're not a trained professional and you haven't been doing it for that long and you're just trying to follow from the video. I have, interestingly enough, had people say to me, Steven, I have watched your videos and have stopped going to professionals because I literally watch your haircut videos and do it perfectly better than any professional could do. I mean, that's amazing if you can do that. And best of luck if you continue. That's awesome. So obviously it takes a lot longer. It may not be as precise. You will be saving some money, obviously. It just depends on how skilled you can get and how good you can get with cutting hair yourself. There's a lot that goes involved with what we do as professionals, and to duplicate that, it's a bit challenging, especially if you have no idea. And sometimes people expect me to teach them how to cut hair overnight when it's taken me 25 plus years to even get this far, okay? The next thing is a barber shop, and I'll save, hairstylists for last because being a hairstylist, so a barber shop. Now, barbers, unfortunately, have had this, pricing structure based around them for many, many, many years. Oh, go to a barber shop and pay 10 bucks for a haircut. Go to a barber shop and pay, 15 bucks for a haircut. Go to a barber shop for this. Go to a barber shop for that. My guy this, my guy that. That's cool. So, my opinion, if you are looking for that experience where you're around other guys, you feel that camaraderie of other men or even women getting their haircuts in a barbershop, and you just like the feeling of going in, maybe having that, half an hour time frame with your person, you talk, you hang out, it's cool, oh, that's my boy, that's my barber, that's my girl, she's my barber, whatever it is, you really enjoy that experience, that's totally cool. If you're going to a barber shop already, you know what you're in for, okay? You know what the experience is like, and you love it for a reason. There it is. Now, the reason I think barbers are charging a lot less, say it could be $25 for a haircut, $35 for a haircut, whatever it is in that price range, and I know depending on where you live, I've had people say, oh, it costs me, however many rupees, which is like, or I pay $3 for my haircut, whatever. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you're going to a barber, chances are you may be paying a lot less for a haircut as compared to maybe going to a stylist. Barbers usually end up taking, it could be 20 minutes, it could be 30 minutes. Maybe you're going in for like an edge up or a trim, like clean up, whatever it is. Maybe that costs you $15, $20. Some are going 2 times a week. They want to keep their hair looking fresh. You want to keep those lines looking sharp. You're going in 15, 20 bucks, 40 bucks a week. You're just spending on maintenance. And then next thing you know, you're getting your haircut every 2 weeks, like a full haircut. it's it's a big investment to look good. So to me, barbers are really masters at, grooming, shaving, clipper work. I've also seen numerous, what we call a crime scene, a hair disaster, a hair massacre, a hair crime scene. The amount of haircuts I've had to fix from barbers botching up haircuts, I can't even count at this point, probably hundreds. It's the same thing with any skill, any trade you go to. There's guys who botch stuff up. There's people who aren't that great, aren't that talented, and there's people who are super talented. I've gotten numerous comments over the years saying, oh, I keep going to my barber and he keeps messing my hair up. What do I do? What do I do? I'm like, dude, just find someone else. Like, the complaints that are just continuous and they don't seem to end. It's just, find a new person, find a new barber. Stop going to the same person if they keep jacking your hair up. That's what it comes down to. Most of the time, barbers aren't going beyond that 30-minute period because of the lower pricing in haircuts, that they have a certain amount of time that you're really paying for time, not really the haircut. They're charging you, say, $40 for a half an hour. That's their time. They need to make $80 in that hour, and then they're only taking a percentage of that. The beauty industry and salons and stuff like this, it's mostly all commission-based. Anywhere from 30% up to, I've seen 60, 65%, which is like insane. But that means that stylist, that barber, that professional is taking a cut. If you're paying $80 for your haircut, that person's not getting all of it. Trust me, the house has to take a percentage. They pay taxes on it as a business owner, and they're only seeing half of that or whatever the percentage is plus a tip. The tips really do help because a lot of people make a lot in tips, and that really helps pay for a lot of things in their life. So tips are really, really important, all right? More important than what you think. So, if you're looking for that experience, somebody who, you want skin fades, you want really awesome tapers, then I would say go to a barber, okay? Now, where the challenge is, and as we cross over into a hairstylist, there's also, I've been noticing like this group on YouTube, they're posting a ton of reels, and they just keep popping up like all the time, and I'm just like, and I watch their videos, and I'm just like, yeah, they may do skin fades and fades pretty well, but they present this image of that they really understand and know what they're talking about, but then the end results just do not look as great as they should compared to how they're describing things. And I keep seeing more and more people popping up, talking about this, talking about that, and then I see the end result and I'm like, oh gosh, like it really was not, you didn't really execute it that well, you know what I mean? So I noticed that over the years, a lot of barbers have started to transition into more of the stylist realm because they're starting to realize that learning and understanding how to cut hair is really important. Old school, they would use clippers for everything, and they would just hack so many heads. And now things have shifted to where so many barbers are learning how to really properly cut hair. They're going for advanced education. They are taking it upon themselves to learn how to cut hair more like how we are trained as stylists. And that's amazing. And I think it's great. And barbers, I think what they're doing is they are also providing more education on how to fade hair and understanding clippers and this and that I think more stylists are now trying to venture out in to learn more, okay? I myself, I'm a hybrid. I started out using clippers many, many years ago. I never claimed to be, nor am I a barber, but I started really in cosmetology school doing clipper cuts and fades and things like that. So clippers came a lot easier to me. So I'm more of a hybrid. I do cut, I have cut women's hair for, men's hair for 20 something years. So I'm familiar with both. I've had extensive training in my life in the industry, from hair coloring, as I used to teach hair coloring for L'Oreal and Paul Mitchell. And also, I went to Vidal Sassoon in London. I've trained with the French, I've trained with all sorts of people, okay? So when you're going in for a haircut with a hairstylist, it's a very different experience. Price jumps right away, maybe $65 for a haircut. For a men's haircut, could be the same thing, 40 bucks. But they're spending a half an hour, 45 minutes. Now you're gonna get a little more time, you may get your hair washed, you're gonna be around a different environment. You may, like the environment a little bit better. You also have the smell of chemicals going on sometimes. You know, there's something that's always a, excuse me, a give or take. Some things are great here, not so great here. So with hairstylists, we are trained a lot more on the art of hair cutting. Okay, they actually don't teach us much or anything about men's hair cutting, believe it or not. We have to learn that on our own. It's mostly women's hair cutting from the start and all the way through to you know, get your license and stuff like that. I wish they would teach more about men's hair cutting because a lot of hairstylists aren't into cutting men's hair because it's so short, they're not as skilled in it, it's intimidating to a lot of people. So there's a trade-off right there, right? I would not really go into a hair salon asking for a skin fade, okay? Unless you find a guy like myself or a stylist who's a hybrid who really understands men's hair cutting and fading and can really put the two and two together and be a really talented hybrid stylist. So you are going to be paying a higher premium price because we're trained a lot more in structure, hair, head shapes, different angles, different techniques, methods of cutting hair and coloring, all sorts of different things. We understand layering. You know, we provide a more in-depth experience because we put more time plus a higher price tag on it. So that's kind of how the model works for that. Sorry. So really in the end, it comes down to where should you go for a haircut? It really depends on the type of experience you want, how much you want to pay, and the type of look you're going for. If you want to have a little bit of a longer hairstyle, you want some layers, my first pick would be go to a stylist. If you're looking for something where you're not looking for a skin fade, anything short, you're trying to grow your hair out, you want a haircut that really requires a lot of layering and shaping, hairstylist. If you're looking for something, oh, I just wear my hair really short, a 1 fade or 0 fade up to the top is 2 inches long, I spike it on top, barber. I mean, like, you get edge ups or line ups and you want real tight, clean lines and barber. I mean, so you start to put the pieces of the puzzle together and it all depends on the experience that you want. So you got those 3 options, yourself, barber, or hairstylist. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know, who do you go to, right? Let's flood the comments. I want to see like over 50 comments at least. Who are you going to and why? Have you made the switch from, say, I was going to a hairstylist, I went to a barber. I was going to a barber, I got tired of getting hacked, hairlines being pushed back and edge ups and lineups for no reason. Like, that's another thing I see. Don't do lineups on a haircut like this. You don't need to, okay? So let me know why you've switched, made the transition. I love to know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.